Hello to everybody. This is Barbara Langston, Certified Zentangle Teacher, and this is day 27 of my videos for the Inktober Tangles. Today's pattern is Gelijoy by Nadine Roller. She is a CZT from Germany. And I watched a video this morning by a lady who knows German, and that's how I was told the right way to say this. I was calling it Gelijoy, but it is Gelijoy. And the name comes from a combination of the beginnings of three words in German. And the first part, the Ge, is from patience. The Li is love. And then she added joy at the end. So with patience and joy, with patience and love comes joy, Gelijoy. Okay, so I had a little bit of trouble liking how my patterns were turning out when I started practicing this. I have practiced it before and was not real pleased with the way that things were coming out. But after more practice and watching a lady on Instagram, I think I have it down. At least I enjoy it more than I did. I like how I have it. I have a round tile here, one that I have cut on my own. I wanted a little bit bigger piece of tile to work with, and I didn't have any bigger paper than a 3.5. And so anyway, we're going to do this one on a Zentangle. And the way that Nadine does the step outs, I'm going to show you first. These are all based on an arrow. And so you start with just drawing a little arrow. Okay. And then the next step that she does is she puts like a little cap over the top. And then she comes down on each side and brings it in to the top, or to the bottom, I'm sorry, that's the bottom. And then you can put a little stem on it. And you can also add a little bit of weighting right there. And then the next thing that you do is just to shade it a little bit here. You can shade the edges a little bit. Shading is always the icing on the cake, as Maria says. Gives it a little bit more dimension, a little bit more depth. And that is Gelijoy. Very simple pattern. And I'm not sure why I haven't liked mine. Of course, it seems like every time I say that, the first one I put down on paper for you guys looks really good. But there are different ways to do it. You could do it large. Okay. Once I started seeing it more as kind of an oak leaf or something like that, because I do have a couple of oak trees around my house, that helped. Let's just come down a little bit on this one. You could put a point on the edge and then come around. And then I'm going to come back up here and do the same thing on this side. Bring it around and up. And then you don't have to put a stem on it, but you can. And then you can also, put, if you wanted to, little dots coming up on the leaf. just going to show you several different ways that I have done it. I like coming down one side and bringing it to that arrow point, and then coming to the other one. I'm able to make them a little bit closer to looking the same when I do that. One of the ways that I've seen it done is in kind of a little triangle. So let's try that. Let's get down to the center. I think this is my favorite way to do this, is to put a little point on the leaves. Bring it around. And I'm going to do another one. It's kind of this direction. Okay. And then let's put one more over here. And if you look in nature, leaves aren't all exactly the same. So that's my excuse for mine not all being the same. You could go ahead and put your little stems coming under the stems that are there. Okay. So that's one way to do it. You can do it a little more rounded. Your little thing in the beginning here doesn't have to be perfectly straight. And I'm going to start this one going in that direction. Bring it around. And then I think I've been a little bit hard on this tip. It's causing me some issues here. My daughter found this in her car. I don't know how long it had been there, but it's still working. You could put a little decoration there on the end. Let's see. There's not a whole lot of different things you can do with these. You could do this as a border, and I haven't tried it, but let's see what we can do here. I come around like I did on that other one. Bring it. So if I were to do it on a border, I would try to make them all look about the same. And now that I have that one, I'm going to put the stem as if it's going behind that one. And I'm having trouble with this pen. Got a little bit close to the border there. So let's come down a little on this one. As you're doing your border, you could have one of them come out like this. And then your next one, kind of like if you're working with poke leaf, if you've ever used that on a border. Just have one kind of going in one direction. I'll put my stem down here. And then the next one coming kind of like this. Yeah, I think I did enough practice on this morning that I'm liking my results a little bit more. I think this would really make a pretty border. Okay. Yeah, I like this part right here where it kind of alternates back and forth better than doing it this way. You can make, see how this one is kind of short and squatty. This one's a little bit longer. So like I said, you can vary how long your first tip is. Trying to see on the step out, if you'll go to the step out, and I will have a link to the step out in the description, there is on Nadine's page a picture of some different ways that another lady had made some suggestions. One way that she did it, I'm going to show you. I don't like it, but I'm going to show you. It's that she did more out like this. And then she also put hers kind of more of a arrow shape. And then she closed these. Okay, so that's just one variation that you could do. I don't see any others that I like a lot, but I would suggest that you go look at them. Okay, here again, just a very simple pattern. Let's put some shading on some of these. Let's see what that does for us. I like how it looks when you have the shading along the edge. The lady I was watching this morning, her channel is called The Tireless Tangler, and she did really big leaves for hers. And filled a tile with only a few of these, and it was pretty. I think I prefer the smaller ones. And of course, Nadine has some beautiful examples on the page with her step outs. It is in German, but she does put both German and English on her page. Yeah, it really makes a difference when you add the shading to it. Hard to believe I'm already on day 27. Only 4 more of these to do. And I'm just totally amazed at how many views I'm getting and wonderful comments, and I appreciate that so much. This has just been such a boost to my confidence as far as being able to teach these on videos on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and fill this in dark. Let's see how that's one of my little what ifs. What if I fill this in? How is that going to look? Cool. I like that. Now let's shade it. Being mindful that when you fill something in like that, it's going to be wet for a while. And this morning, as I was practicing, I did a tile in multiple colors, like fall colors, and I'll show you that when I'm finished here. Okay, try to get your shading when you're doing it. Okay, let me show you how. See, I have that space there. I don't want that space to be there. I'll try to fill it in when I use my tortillon, but I want my graphite to go all the way to right up to that edge, which is why I'm trying to point my pencil toward the line that I'm shading so that there's no space there. I'm not doing it, am I? Okay, here we go. All right. And this is a little bit different tortillon. I like these because they don't tend to squash in as much as these do. I'm too harsh on my tortillons. I should be holding them more at an angle, like I've shown you how to hold your jelly roll, but I'm bad at that. Don't always practice what I preach. Yeah, I definitely like it with the shading. Cool. So basically that's what you do on all of these. Add some nice shading to it. Okay, so for the one that I did this morning, here we go. I took a class from a lady a couple of months ago, and she asked that we buy some fine tip pins, but they were pretty expensive. And so I ended up buying these Statler. Oh, can you read that? Statler Tri-Plus Fine Liner. Fine Liner. I can't even talk this morning. And I got like 60 colors off Amazon for a really cool price. So these are the fall colors that I picked out of that group of fine liners. And I just started at the center with 3, similar to what I did here. And then I just kept changing colors and bringing them out in different directions as if they were exploding from the center of the page. And then this, I just took, when I was finished, I took my graphite pencil and just put a very soft edge between these. I didn't start out with a border. I just wanted to wait and see how I went with this. And so just a little bit of graphite between these gives you just a simple border. I think if I had tried to fill it in, like put a hard border down and fill it in with a pattern, it would have taken away from my leaves. Okay, so when I soften this, I'm going to pull it down toward the center. I'm not going to push it out that way. Kind of soften my corners here. And if I get it on top of a leaf, like I did here, I do keep a kneaded eraser handy because it's more gentle on your paper than like a pencil eraser would be. And I'll probably go back in here like I showed you and add some graphite along these edges because I like how it looked on the example that I was showing you. At least on these bigger leaves. See how that looks. Get this softened all the way to the edge. And see right here, I can see that my graphite didn't go all the way to that line. So I'm going to add just a little bit more, fill that in. And then soften it. Okay. So there you go. This is Gelijoy by Nadine Roller. She is a certified Zentangle teacher in Germany. And this is definitely a nice pattern to use as a filler with any organic tile that you might be working on. And like we have here, you can make a nice ribbon. You can make them big, make it fill your tile with big leaves, however you want to do it. Has a lot of possibilities. All right, that was fun. And between last night and tonight, I figured it out and I'm doing it better, and I know you can do it too. Thank you again for joining me. Please hit the like button and please subscribe if you haven't already. And tomorrow I will be doing I Can Too, and that's also one of my favorite patterns. Thanks. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.